All right, guys, so we're going to now implement authentication. Now, remember at the beginning when we created our database, it asked us if we wanted to start in locked mode or test mode, and we chose test mode. And what that did is it added permissions. If we look at rules right here in our database, this is basically saying that anyone can read and write to our documents, or read and write documents to the collection. So that's what we've been doing. We're not logged in here or anything. We're just able to do it. So we don't want that. That's just for development, just to getting up to the point we're at. So now I'm going to change the permission. So right here you can see anyone with your database reference will be able to read or write to your database, and we want to click learn more. And if that's not there for some reason, just go ahead and copy what I'm going to put in here, which is this. So this is auth required. Okay, so basically we have different sets of permissions. Auth required, we can deny all, we can allow all, which is what we've been doing. You can see that is what we actually have, but we want this auth required. So I'm going to grab this and copy this and go here and just replace what we have here. Whoops. Yeah, we just want to get rid of this first, and then let's paste in that. Okay, so basically it's saying that we need an auth UID. So that means we have to be logged in to be able to read and write. So let's go ahead and publish our changes here. And now we don't get that message anymore. Now if we go, it actually just said it may take up to 10 minutes, but it shouldn't. If we go back to our app and reload, there we go, it's not working. Okay, it's showing a constant spinner because remember we said if client, then show the clients, else show the spinner. Well, client is not there. It's not in the props because it's not allowed to be there because we're not logged in. So we have to implement user authentication. So let's go back to VS Code and let's create inside of auth, components auth, we're going to create a file called login.js, and this is going to be our login component. So we want to bring in a bunch of stuff here. Let's copy from client details. We'll just grab, we're going to need compose, connect, prop types, so we're going to need all this stuff. So we'll grab that and paste that in. Actually, we don't need link. And then let's put in a class-based component. Just get rid of that. All right, I'm not even going to export it yet because we have to export firebase connect and also connect. And we're going to wrap that in compose, but we didn't bring in firebase connect yet, so let's do that. Now we've usually been bringing in firestore connect because that's how we access our data. However, when we're dealing with authentication, it's firebase connect. Okay, so let's say import firebase connect from, and this is going to be from React, Redux, Firebase. Okay, and then let's go down here and let's say export default. For now, we don't need connect or compose just yet, so I'm going to comment these out because right now we only need Firebase connect. The reason we need connect is because when we create, we're going to want like a notification if the login is wrong. So we're going to have a reducer, a custom notify reducer, and actions file for notifications. And when we need to get the notification for the alert, that'll come through the state and we'll need these. But for now, I don't care about the notification. I just want to get the login working. So we just need Firebase connect like that, and then just the name of the component, which is login. Okay, and then we'll put in our prop types. So we'll say login dot prop types. Oops, that should be a lowercase p. And we want to set these. We want to set Firebase. Okay, so Firebase is going to be prop types dot, and this is an object, and we'll say is required. Okay, that's all we need for now. And then let's create our login form. So for the render, we'll just let's see. Yeah, we're gonna make this a grid. So let's do a class name here of row, and let's do a 6-column div. So call MD6, but I want it in the middle. Okay, I want it to be narrow and in the middle like a login form. So I'm gonna use the class MXAuto, which is margin auto for the left and right. Okay, it's a bootstrap class. And then in here we'll put a card. Okay, bootstrap card class. And then let's put a card body. And then we want an H1. I'm going to give this a class of text dash center. And I'm also going to do a padding bottom 4 class, and then a padding top 3, just to kind of give it some space. All right, and then in this H1, I want to have a like a lock icon from Font Awesome, and I want it to be blue. So I'm going to wrap it in a span with the class of text primary, which will make it blue. And then let's put the icon, so it's FAS, and then we want FA-lock. Okay, so that'll give us a lock icon. And then let's see, after that, let's put login. Actually, we're gonna go outside of this span. Actually, no, let's just put login. Let's see what that looks like. We'll save. Now we need to create a route for it, so let's go to app.js, and let's bring in a login. And now this is going to be in the auth folder, so auth/login, and then let's create a route for it. So the path is going to be /login, and component is going to be login. Okay, so let's go back, and we're just going to type in /login, and there we go. All right, so I want there to be some space in between there, so I'm just going to go like that. All right, that's good enough. So underneath that, we want our form. So we want to go under the H1, and let's put in a form. We don't want an action. And we're going to have an email and a password and a button. So let's put in a form group class, so form group, which will have a label for email. And then let's put in an input with the class of form-control. And this is going to have a few parameters or a few attributes. So let's see, we have text, type text, class name is going to be email. Let's see, what else? Let's do required. And then value is it's going to come from the state. We're going to have email and password in the state. So this .state.email. And then of course we need to have an onChange because it's a controlled component. So onChange equals this .onChange. All right, and then password is going to be very similar. So I'll just copy this div. Let's paste that in, and let's change this to password, and change this HTML4 to password, and we'll change the name. We'll change the type. We don't want text, we want password, and then the state is going to be this .state.password. Okay, and we'll leave the onChange, and then we just need a submit button, which will go under this div. So input type submit, and value will be, let's put login for the value, and then let's put some classes. So we want btn, Let's do btn primary and btn block. All right, let's take a look. What's this? Okay, so it's going to give us errors because we don't have this. We don't have our state yet. So I'm going to just create that. So we'll go up to the top here, and let's create our state, component state. So email and password. Okay, that should get rid of that error. And there's our login form. Good. Cool. So now what we want to do is work on the onSubmit, which we didn't create yet. We didn't even link yet. So let's go to the form tag and let's say onSubmit equals this.onSubmit. We also need to create our onChange. Remember, each input has an onChange, and that's going to be just like most of our onChange. It's just going to change the state. So let's do that real quick. So for that, we're just going to do this.setState. And we want to set whatever the input name is. So e.target.name is going to be set to e.target.value. And then let's do the onSubmit. So for the submit, remember we have firebase available in the props. So let's take that out using destructuring. So we'll say const firebase, and we'll take that out of this dot props. And then we can say firebase dot login. And what we can do is we can pass in an object with our email and password. So we can say email, but with ES6 we can simply just do email, same with password. Okay, instead of just doing a colon with the same key and value. And then I just want to put a dot catch in case something goes wrong. Okay, in case the credentials are invalid. So we'll say error. And for now, what I'm going to do is just a simple alert. And in here we'll say invalid login credentials. All right. So let's see, email is not defined, password is not defined. That's because we need to pull that from the state. Okay, it's in the state. We initialized it here, and then whatever we type in the inputs is going to put it in that state, and then we're going to take it and put it in here, and we're going to attempt to log in. If it logs in, it should show our data. If not, it should show us a message, just a simple alert. We're going to do a custom notification in our state later, but for now we're just going to do a simple JavaScript alert. So let's try it out. We'll do like let's say test@test.com, which we know is not a real account. Let's try to log in. We get invalid login credentials. So let's try brad@gmail.com with the wrong password. Okay, again, we get bad login credentials. Let's try it with the correct password. And nothing. Oh, we didn't do, you know what? I think it worked, because if I go to dashboard, now we can see our data. So it did work. It just didn't do anything afterwards. Now that's fine. I'm not going to have it actually redirect, because what we're going to do is we're going to make it so that if we're logged in, we're not going to be able to go to this login page. So automatically it'll redirect us to this page. Same thing where if we're not logged in and we go to this page, it'll redirect us back to the login. So we're going to create that functionality. So I'm not worried about that yet. The point is that now we're logged in, and if we go to our Redux tools and we take a look at our state and we go to Firebase and we look in auth, look at that. We have our user ID, we have our email, we have all kinds of stuff, API key, auth domain, all of our information we have available in our state for our user that's logged in. So let's see, what do I want to do now? So we need a way to log out. We should probably do that first before we deal with like the redirects and stuff like that. Yeah, so in the next video, what I think I want to do is create a link in the nav bar to log out, and we want that only to show if we're logged in. We also want to show our email address right here so we know which user we're logged in as. So we'll tackle that in the next video.